Dragon Dreams, Book 2, Gaining Ground, written by Gina Virginia Casella. Story, Gaining Ground with Mannis. I tell Mannis that I wonder about many things. At this time, I'm curious about my dreams. The one with the laughing man, the one with the laughing tree, and the one with the white ram. It's as if knowledge comes to me in an instant, like downloading information. The dreams in my mind feel like a locked house. I'm trapped inside my own head or dreams. This is a good thing. If someone else enters my dreams, I've likely been deceived into thinking these are my dreams when really they're not. This could be an alternate reality disguised as a dream. As a child, I knew something was wrong, but only now do I see the red flags. I'm reminding myself to always trust my instincts. In the dream, I was a child walking and talking with a grandfatherly figure. He delighted in my company as we strolled together along the shoreline while I skipped ahead. I also took delight in his company, as he seemed very interested in what I had to say. Like a child, I chattered on, with my conversation scattered and many of my thoughts left incomplete. In this dream, I informed the man that I was aware I was dreaming. In waking life, we were discussing hallucinations caused by drugs at school, and I knew I must be dreaming since I wasn't on any drugs. I explained that in dreams, anything is possible, like flying. Intrigued, the man listened as I eagerly described my plan to run, leap off a cliff, and soar through the air like a bird. I was lucid dreaming, although I didn't know this terminology at the time. Amused by my enthusiasm, he laughed, assuming I wasn't serious, and sprinting toward the cliff's edge with all my might. The man's laughter ceased as he realized I fully intended to jump. And when I hit the sand, I lost consciousness. I didn't realize I had died. I just felt confused as I fell instead of flying. My face was buried in the sand as the rest of my body sank into it. Though my ribs ached terribly, I wanted to cry but stopped myself as I heard the man burst into laughter, which I mistakenly thought was directed at me rather than being his relief. At that point, I no longer liked the man and wanted to wake up. Though in pain, I kept my face hidden from the man and continued to act like I was dead. In another dream, I learned that the man had revived me after my death, which surprised me since it was not actually a dream. He had me assume it was a dream in order to avoid frightening me, given my young age, about being in a different dimension. Although spiritually, I am the immortal unmaker, my biological incarnation, known as Gina, is as mortal as any other mortal. Despite my initial delight in his company and freedom to ramble, I don't like this tree anymore. The situation is confusing because he was once a grandfatherly man, but has now taken the form of a tree. I feel his presence always around me as he transforms into similar and familiar forms in nature. For Gina's sake, although the forms change, I still can tell it's him. But no one has confirmed this to me. I am deeply troubled that Gina died, despite being revitalized. Her life matters. She should not be treated like a disposable toy, dying and reviving. I passionately insist Gina, embodying a Holy Spirit, be respected. I advocate for better treatment of all biological beings, even rocks, whose physical forms enable spirits to do meaningful work. Feeling confused, Having mistaken a dimension for a dream leaves me troubled, vulnerable, and naive. In another dream, the spirits, possibly goddesses of the elementals embodied in the ocean and sand, tell me the tree is a good guy. He kidnapped me because it was his role, but more specifically for 3 reasons. First, others wanted to destroy me. Second, others wanted to experiment on me, curious about my unmaking and remaking, especially the changes to my physical body, soul, gender, and age. They are also interested in my mental and emotional capacities, how I exercise the power as the unmaker, and what I remember, and why I remember it, and what I might recall if interrogated. The third reason was based on a discussion about concerns that I could become brainwashed into being a weapon and fall into the wrong hands, that I now inherently have access to sensitive information about the cosmos and magic. They conclude by noting the tree is me, a higher self. They are also me, although this is not the focus at this time. Time is an illusion, but they say I know what they mean. I don't know what they mean, which means I know exactly what they mean. And this touches on several complex ideas that are unclear in their current form. It reinforces they without establishing who they are. Statement about time being an illusion seems disconnected from the rest. Final contradictory statements about the narrator both not understanding and yet fully understanding what they mean introduces confusion. To improve clarity, it would be best to separate this into simpler, standalone thoughts with more content. Yet all of this confusion is clarified in knowing that everything exists in the now and we're all one. Rather than clarifying, breaking down, and oversimplifying, the story obscures the nuances and interplay between its dualities and paradoxes. I underwent a series of tests. I can't remember. It turns out I aced all of them. Excellent results. Despite my physical appearance as a young girl, spiritually I feel wise and mature beyond my years. I'm playful yet powerful, like a gentle giant surrounded by little creatures. Though I mean no harm, my inner strength may seem daunting. I care deeply for Gina, my biological holy temple. I hope that when her time comes, she passes away naturally and peacefully in her sleep. In past lives, I often disregarded the sacredness of human life, including my own biological temple that embodied me. I was capable of suicide or murder when provoked. Now that I advocate for the sovereignty and dignity of all people and folks, including the rocks and each piece of stardust, I recall and remember what matters to me. I used to be self-critical about my poor memory, but it turns out I simply don't care much about many things, so I don't retain a lot of information. I can imagine a tree laughing hysterically in my mind. It's so true, he remarks. He also suggests that I must care for him since I am remembering him. He says he cares for me too, and was honored that his role was the first to spend time with me after I was remade. There is a link between the laughing tree and the man in my dream. God knew there was too much dis-ease with my remaking, and he couldn't just toss me back into the collective. I needed to be reintegrated, And spending time in the other dimension was like a final checkpoint. In terms of sharing information, I don't even know what I know or don't know. I get confused about dimensions. I also see the good in everyone. So the bad guys and the good guys, I treat the same. I don't differentiate between good and bad. Everyone and everything is in a state of indifference to me. This gives the bad guys hope. Turns out the bad guys really like me. Anyone would be delighted to spend time with me. Being in this little girl form is less intimidating for everyone. Many folks just want to see me simply to see me. I'm like a unicorn. Most folks fear me, but it's only because of my title and their unfamiliarity. At heart, everyone and everything is grateful because as long as I'm around and unmaking, God can then remake, and folks have the free will to choose whether they want to be remade or not. Sometimes they're eager to be remade, and God tells them no, as they're still healing. This business of contracts in my field of work, the word gets around about me. If the man didn't kidnap me, someone else would have. I would have likely unmade them. So all of those someone else's are happy that the man did what he did. In these reoccurring dreams, there is a laughing tree with whom I try to make a connection with in my late 30s waking life. Just as we are connecting, I start waking up, desperately trying to stay asleep and remain in the dream. The tree responds by jumping skyward, spinning and laughing wildly. As the tree spins faster, tipping horizontally, it flashes brightly and disappears, teasing me that I always ask if I'll see it again. Apparently, I always see the laughing tree. I just don't remember. His constant laughter towards me stems not from malice, but amusement at my attitude regarding certain matters. Though his blunt humor can seem abrasive at times, I've come to find it hilarious. His unique blend of wisdom, wit, and honesty keeps things in perspective, prompting me to rethink and grow in a realistic way without kidding myself. The tree serves as an important symbol by linking the physical forms of nature to the intangible spiritual realm. Since I feel a deep connection to plants and trees, the sight of a tree reminds me to preserve nature, my true home, and elemental self. The tree also represents my place within the cycle of life. It dawns on me that he is the tree of knowledge. And I realize this is just a metaphor. The tree inside my mind clarifies that the tree of knowledge does not literally exist. It is an expression representing something else. What he truly embodies is the concept of applied knowledge, the knowledge that can be actively used. This is a parallel to the metaphorical tree of life, which spreads its seeds to create diverse branches of beliefs and information. Rather than a single tree of knowledge, there is an interconnected system of knowledge with many categories branching out from the common roots. The tree of life is the primordial source of energy and blueprint from which all metaphors, beliefs, and ways of knowing arise, much like a grandparent to the biological forms known as nature. When I need information or want to reflect, I can go to the master librarian Mannis. When I need someone to cry to, or if I need a hug, I can go to the plants and trees. I require someone to share my emotions with, whether it be crying or needing a hug. Turn to the plants and trees for comfort. My laughter resonates the laughter of The tree and the man, they appreciate it, and so do I. As a 7-year-old girl, it's crucial for me to understand the distinction between laughing at someone and laughing with them. It is impolite to laugh at others. The tree explains that in the face of evil, laughter can be a powerful tool as it disrupts all energy, especially negative energy, like a crystal shattering white light into rainbows, dispersing unwanted energy. The tree advises me that being resilient can be advantageous. He mentions that there are many challenges out there, and recognizing my vulnerabilities is important, as people may try to make me feel bad about my past mistakes. Therefore, I need to undergo proper training and develop effective coping mechanisms to maintain strong moral values. The tree then chuckles and admits that he finds it amusing to teach a 7-year-old girl about resilience, and he teases me about my gender, which I find frustrating. Despite my initial annoyance, I manage to cleverly respond to his remarks, surprising him with my wit, and he laughs, appreciating my sassiness. He swears a lot, although it does not make its way into this text. Unlike how Mannis refrains from swearing around me, every second word this guy says is a swear word. Swearing seems to be part of his everyday language communication. In my realization, I understand the importance of nurturing personal growth and emotional stability. Throughout my previous experiences, I encountered difficulties due to the lack of harmony between my intellect and emotions, resulting in impulsive and unwise decisions. However, I am now seeking assistance from a professional who specializes in anger management, self-control, and the ability to discern appropriate responses. This individual will guide me in recognizing when to assert myself assertively and confidently. Self-regulation is prioritized. Although I am only a 7-year-old girl, my laugh is the same joyous laugh as that tree has. The tree explains that laughter can break up negative energy like a prism that splits white light into rainbows. I must now laugh, and I must know the difference between laughing at someone versus laughing with someone, as the former can be rude. When confronted with evil, laughter may be the best response, dispersing unwanted energy. In my waking life, I laugh a lot because things can be awkward, not because they're funny. The tree tells me our laughter is definitely a high quality item reaching back from primordial time. The tree advises me that strength of character can be useful. It tells me there is much adversity in the world, and knowing my weakness is that others can make me feel guilty about past mistakes. I need moral courage and wisdom to develop the integrity to overcome whatever challenges arise. Mannis takes the time to clarify. In my dream, the man who laughed was more than just a fragment or figment of my imagination. As I plummeted into the sand, my life seemed to fade away only to be revived by this mysterious individual. I was forcefully taken and manipulated into believing that I was trapped within a dream. However, when you experience lucid dreaming, it transcends the realm of mere dreams and becomes a simulated reality. In this state, fear dissipates as you embark on an out-of-body journey while your physical self rests. The man approached me with the intention of being the first to extract information from me about remaking hence allowing me to speak freely in the hopes that I would unintentionally reveal what I shouldn't. Fortunately, not a single word slipped past my lips, which proved to be advantageous. The tree and the laughing man share the same entity spirit, both being extremely intelligent and also me. Despite the masculine energy being somewhat intense, it is simply a part of their personality. I find their humor and intelligence combined to be quite amusing, leading me to reflect and grow by keeping things real and putting them into perspective. The tree serves as a vital connection between biological forms in 3D worlds and the formless spiritual realm. As someone who feels at home among plants and trees, the appearance of a tree serves as a reminder to cherish and protect my true home. Through the tree, I can better understand my role in the cycle of life. Mannis leaves it to the tree man and I to continue conversing.